Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, and consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here you are in this pure air energy, this Fool energy. Let's put that into some context, all right? Let's use our Dove and Serpent spread. And as I do this, I also want to offer, if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know, okay? All right, finishing up Path of the Serpent here. All right. This looks good. I like that Fool energy. I think that really is going to be good. Let's do a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, and we're going to use the Waite-Smith deck for the bonus card, the mystery card, and we're just going to set this aside. We'll put alien and frog on top of it. We're not going to look at that until the very end. Okay. And we're going to see how that might tie everything together and, give us the confirmation we need at the end of the video. So let's take a look around here. We've got this Fool energy. That is the only major arcana. Oh, no, we've got the Wheel of Fortune, too. Good news. Good news. We also have a lot of air. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 air, a couple of earth, couple of water cards, and then a couple of majors. The only thing that we're missing is a couple of fire cards. Maybe the mystery card will supply us with that heat, that electricity, that spark that we need to get all of this going. Or maybe you've already caught that fire. Maybe we don't need the fire energy here because you've already got that. It's already taken care of. It's really a non-issue. So we'll see how it goes as we get through these cards. But the first one, look at that, Fool energy. This is, I think you're really in the mood for a surprise. I think you're ready for something kind of spontaneous in your life. You're ready for some uncertainty, I think that there may be an air sign person in your life. We do see a lot of this air. And I think maybe they were acting in a way that you felt was a little bit inconsiderate, okay? They may not technically be an air sign, but they're responsible, I think, for a lot of the air energy that we see. So someone in your life, I think, has been a little bit inconsiderate to you. And it feels to me like now you're really in the mood for something exciting, something spontaneous, something out of the ordinary. You really want to be surprised. Right? You really, you don't want the predictability of some of these swords here. We have even-numbered swords card. We have the 6 of swords, the 2, the 4 of swords. These are all even numbers. These are predictable states of things. Okay? We want this pure air energy, expansive, all-inclusive, ready to take on any kind of experience. Right? Just want something novel. And I think that's what you're ready for. It may be what you're manifesting in your life. We see these earth cards too, but in actual fact, we have a lot of court cards. And these are air and earth. We have a water court card over here. I kind of feel like you're a little bit disappointed in some of the people around you. Okay? I feel as if you want to be surprised by these people, what maybe they're coworkers, maybe it's family members, friends. I feel like they're all acting in very predictable ways, and you're hoping that they would kind of surprise you here and do something different. It kind of feels to me like you're really focused right now, right? Because of the earth energy, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune down here, And because of the nature of the water cards here, I feel like you're very focused on what you're doing. What your plans or projects are, I don't know, but I feel like you're in the mood to manifest those. Now, you still have this Fool energy, this real drive, real desire to just kind of almost this feeling like you want to escape from all of this, because you just want something, like I said, novel, new. You want to be surprised by people, right? You don't like knowing everything. Does that make sense? But I feel like you're sticking with this, hoping that you will be surprised either by the results of the work that you're doing or by the other people involved, that they're going to kind of surprise you by doing something kind of extraordinary rather than ordinary. Okay. But I feel, despite this urge to kind of run off and just go on some random adventure and leave this work behind, I don't think you're going to do that. Because of these earth cards that we see, and because of these very predictable air cards. I think that you know yourself well enough to say to yourself, well, I want to go run off and do something spontaneous, something surprising, something novel, but you've got a certain plan that you're sticking to, okay, to get this stuff done. So I feel that there's kind of there's almost a battle between this really free Fool air energy. This, again, is the air energy that has no direction, doesn't care about anything, just wants to expand and expand and expand, experience as much as it can. But we have these very organized air cards that are trying to fence in this Fool energy. Okay? And I feel that you're kind of struggling against that. Right? You don't want to be really contained. You don't want to be fenced in. You don't want your life to be predictable. The people around you are predictable. What you are going to end up doing, you feel, is kind of predictable. But at the same time, you don't really want to unleash this full Fool energy, right? Because this is literally going to just kind of neglect all of this work that you're doing. It's going to make it all kind of worthless, because you're going to completely abandon it. So we're not looking for that. So it's kind of a struggle here, right? There's this urge for freedom, but there's also your intellect, your logic, your better judgment, your common sense a little bit saying, we've got to stay the course, we've got to stick to the plan, because you're manifesting. Right? You're creating the abundance and the success that you ultimately want in your life. And you're trying to follow your sense of destiny. You know that this is all part of the process. You know that you go through periods of, here's the Wheel of Fortune card. This wheel turns, right? You go through periods of being really elated, being on top of the world, being very connected with this work that you do. And then at other periods, maybe right now we're approaching one of those periods where you feel like you're at the bottom of the wheel, like everything kind of sucks. It's predictable. It's not really holding your attention. It's not working out the way it should. The people around you they seem like they're just not into it. Whatever the case is, you know that this is a cycle. So you go through periods of this, and perhaps every time this feeling kind of comes around, you get this Fool energy, this travel bug, this wanderlust, this sense of needing to escape, right? But we're sticking to it because this is part of the plan. This is part of you fulfilling what you know to be your true work, your purpose, your path, your goals in life. Okay. So as much as we want, see both of these cards, these are both rather expansive cards. The air energy, right, expands to fill whatever container it's in. And this is like a spiritual air. So its container is the infinite universe, right? So there's no limit to the expansion here. It's taking in every kind of experience. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is a Jupiter card. And see, Jupiter is all about expansiveness too. But Jupiter expands not in a non-discriminate way, not in this completely free way. The Jupiter energy is expanding only to those areas where there's going to be progress, where there's going to be profit, that are going to be of ultimate benefit, right? And now that could be, even negative experiences, positive experiences, gains and losses. It's all appropriate to this idea of growth and learning and making progress. But the Fool doesn't care about any of that. The Fool doesn't care why it's experiencing things, what the lesson is there, right? Doesn't care about gains and losses, pleasure or pain, just wants everything. But Jupiter here, everything is intentional. Everything has a purpose. The reason why we have gains and losses and success and joy and pain, it's all to teach us something and to further our progress in whatever way, shape, or form we're trying to do that. Okay, so these two cards are similar, but different, if that makes sense. So we have this idea of still needing novelty, but we want that novelty to have a purpose, to still be a part of this plan. Now, the Six of Swords is what's behind you right now. This was your original blueprint. This was your clarity of vision. This was you really knowing what you want and how to get there. If this is a career, a family, a relationship, if this is an artistic thing, if it's a charity or a community organization, whatever it is, right? If it's some spiritual work, this was your original blueprint, right? I think this is kind of the step-by-step order that you wrote these things down in. Okay, well, first I do this, then I do this, and then it was all very organized. And I think that at the beginning, this was a good idea. You wanted to be organized. You wanted to have a step-by-step plan of what you're doing. But now we've got this Fool energy coming in. Well, we have the court cards too. This air court card is up at the top, and that maybe has a special influence here. But we had this very structured order and this plan step by step, right? But with the Fool energy now, we're just thinking, God, I hate everything being so organized. Like, I don't want to do things by the book. I don't want to do things in a step-by-step order. It's almost like we want to throw out the instruction manual, the little paper that comes with the bookshelf. We want to throw that out. We want to just put the pieces together any way we feel like in the moment. We don't care if it turns out to be a bookshelf or not. And that's the Fool energy coming in. It's really a contrast between well-organized, well-thought-out, step-by-step, and literally no plan at all. Literally no plan. And these, I think, are just some of these impulses that you're dealing with. Now, there could be a younger, feminine energy air sign person that is contributing to some of this Fool energy that maybe has... maybe they have captured some of your attention, or you see them perhaps living a more carefree life or not having any plan at all. And for a moment, it kind of seems like a good idea. It kind of seems like fun. This could be a younger friend, family member, maybe a younger sibling. But I almost feel like they're living this kind of free life, and we're just here with our plan and our hard work, right? Thinking the grass is greener over there. Well, it must be nice to not have a plan at all and to just live, What we don't know about the Princess of Swords, though, is that they have their own struggles, right? Just looking at this card, it seems like they are kind of groping for a plan. They're struggling to find some kind of order or organization. So I think this card is up here to say that the grass is not always greener on the other side. Now, maybe there is no person like that in your life. Maybe this is just kind of an analogy to prompt us to focus on our goals and try to reach some place in between. We don't need to be rigidly structured, everything by the book. We can have some novelty, some spontaneity, right? We don't need to go to either extreme, right? Here's the Prince of Discs who is using this air energy, using this structured plan, and using this sense of spontaneity and novelty to get things done, right? They are the hard worker. This is the person that is out there experimenting with different methods and styles, not sticking to the instructions. They may have read over the instructions first, and then they threw them out. And so they sort of know how to build the bookshelf. They at least know that it's going to be a bookshelf, and at the end of the day, it should resemble one at least a little bit, right? So this isn't someone who has completely abandoned any sense of reason or structure or order or organization. They have just allowed themselves a little bit of freedom, of creativity, of spontaneity, a little bit of flying by the seat of their pants, so to speak. And I think that's the blend, the kind of happy medium that we're looking for. Okay? And what that leads us to is the Knight of Discs. Now here's some of that fire energy. We thought we didn't have any fire, but there's a little bit of fire now. Because we've allowed ourselves to enter into this blended, balanced kind of middle road, best of both worlds kind of thing, I think we're getting a little bit of that fire that we wanted, right? A little bit of the enthusiasm, a little bit more kind of confidence and joy and ambition is being put back into this work, right? It's no longer just the rigid, structured, organized, step-by-step, kind of boring and predictable. Now there's a little bit of creative license here, a little bit of leeway, right? You're giving yourself a little bit of slack. And that is what you need to get this fire started up again. See, the Knights are the fiery aspect of the suit that they're in, of the element that they are. So this is the fiery aspect of this physical work that you're doing now. There's a little bit more fire in it, right? A little bit more spark, a little bit more enthusiasm and ambition. It's a little bit more fun now to do it. You're a little bit more excited to get up and continue this work. And I think this is perfect. This is really what we wanted. It's not an extreme. It's not anything crazy. It's not a full unleashing of this Fool energy, but it's a little bit of that. It's a blend between the Six of Swords and the Fool energy. Now, the Fool is a much stronger card, being a major arcana, than this little old Six of Swords. So we have to be very careful that this Fool energy doesn't become too powerful and overtake the rest of the system. See, the Fool, if we're looking at the overhead, the Fool is surrounded by these other energies, mostly kind of air energies, very structured cards here that are trying to contain this Fool, trying to kind of fence it in, it's almost like these cards are the Fool's handler, you know, and we're just trying to manage and maintain this Fool energy so that it doesn't just self-destruct, it doesn't just run rampant all over the place and kind of destroy the work that we're doing or the progress that we've made. So I feel like this is a very good thing. Right? And that brings us over to the path of the serpent. Now we start with more air energy. Your general energy is this Two of Swords. Now this could be the blending between the different types of air, right? This could be restricting yourself, right? Blocking the way, barring the entrance to complete Fool energy, right? This could be saying, no, we're not going to go down this complete abandon and this complete reckless freedom of the Fool energy. We're not going to that extreme. And then this card is also saying, well, maybe we should take this Six of Swords, this complex, organized, step-by-step, very rigid and orderly kind of plan, and maybe we should simplify it. Maybe we should just say, okay, take everything out of the box, step one. Step two, build the bookshelf. Very simple. We don't need all the intermediary steps because we can use our intuition. We know it's supposed to be a bookshelf. We can kind of figure it out, right? We can use our intuition. And I think that this card is very often speaks of intuition, right? It says, rather than looking at things in a logical, 1 + 1 = 2, A and B and then C, rather than everything having to be cause and effect, now there's room for intuition, right? Rather than everything being me and not me, or thing and other thing, 1 and 2, the two swords, the two opposites, right? The separated facts that we need to sort out. This is kind of saying, let's transcend that and use our intuition. Let's use our creativity here a little bit, right? We can build this. We know what we're doing. And with all the people that are around you and their predictability, maybe that's a good thing. Here's a 4 of Swords in your environment. Maybe we want the 4 of Swords in our environment. We don't want everybody around us struggling with their own fool, trying to use their own intuition, because then it may be that there are too many chefs in the kitchen, right? There are too many scientists, right? The 6 of Swords, science. Too many scientists, not enough technicians. So we should be thankful and maybe not really rail too hard against everyone else in our life being a little bit predictable. We, in this case, for you, I'm not reading for them, I'm reading for you. We want you to be the creative. We want you to be in charge. This is your project, your work, your destiny, your fate, your plans, your future. So for the other things, the other variables in our life to be a little bit predictable may not be a bad thing. Okay, that's all this card is saying. Let's be thankful for the type of cooperation that we have. Okay? And it may not be that there are a lot of people involved here. These court cards could be the evolution of your own energy, different sides of your own personality, right? Especially with these earth cards here. So there may not be a large group of people involved in this with you. But the 4 of Swords is saying that the things that we can predict in the external world, in this process that we're involved with, those are good things. We're happy to be able to predict things, right? That's part of this science-y attitude with the 6 of Swords, this planning, the structure, the step-by-step. In order to have a plan of that nature, you have to be able to predict what's going to happen at each step. So a little bit of predictability is good. And this card is saying, let's not try to disturb that. If we know how this one little aspect is going to behave or how it's going to turn out, what the result will be, let's just leave that alone. Let's be thankful that we know that much, right? Because the Fool here, pure air energy, doesn't know anything, doesn't care, doesn't need to know anything, has no memory. This Fool lives currently in the moment, and whatever experience it can gain right now doesn't know what it did 5 seconds ago. Kind of a goldfish, that Fool. Doesn't have any thoughts of the future, of what's coming next. Just it's almost as if the Fool is stationary and experience and reality is just flowing through it. Like when you're a kid and you're in the car and you think, gosh, what if I'm not moving down the road? What if I'm staying still and the world is traveling underneath me, traveling, around me? I don't know. I used to have that kind of feeling when I was a kid in the car, That's kind of the Fool energy. So we want to be able to predict things a little bit. We want to have a little bit of that constancy in our reality, right? For you to make progress and succeed at whatever you're doing, I think we need a little bit of that. Okay, now we get to this water energy. First thing we see is this Knight of Cups, and this is in the position of what we don't want. This is the fire of the water. This is really your emotions getting worked up. This is you getting some kind of excitement in your feelings. Is it that we don't want the distraction of a love, of a romance, right? Is it that we don't want to start feeling emotional about this work, or maybe about some unpredictable variable, right? Because this is something that we can't predict. Emotions, love, romance, these things are not as predictable as the work that you're doing, the kind of science behind it or the plan behind it. The emotions are not so predictable. So maybe this is what we don't want. We don't want this kind of, this is like the variable of all variables, right? Because you don't know when you might catch some feelings, when somebody else might. You don't know when this kind of water energy is going to come into your life. And we don't know how we are going to react. We don't know how other people are going to react. So I feel like there is a resistance to any kind of like love or romance in your life right now. Okay? And it could be that because of the work that you're doing, there really isn't a place for this. This would be that unpredictable element that would kind of derail what you're doing, right? With this work, career. It's something that I think we have to be fairly logical about. Yes, you want more creativity. You want this different kind of air energy. You don't want water energy. It feels like that to me, anyway. So I feel like we kind of are trying to stick to our logic, our kind of left brain, level-headed, predictable. We're trying to incorporate left and right brains, so to speak. I don't think it's really that separated. It's not that black and white, but we're trying to really include all of the air energy, the creative, the spontaneity, the right brain and the logic, left brain, Six of Swords kind of stuff. What we don't want to incorporate is our emotions, is our heart. We don't want to have that as an influence here. And I think that's why that the Knight of Cups is in the position of what we don't want. Because the very next card will then be the Eight of Cups. This is almost a complete loss of interest in this work that you're doing, because now you have entered into this situation, relationship, with this water energy. And now it may be that you are completely disinterested in this work that you do, right? Something has come along and completely taken you away, taken your interest, taking your dedication away from this work that you do. And that is intensely unpredictable to you. And this is like, this is then, rather than having this, it's a difficult work that you do, right? Just struggling with the air energy, that's difficult enough. And doing the work that you do is difficult enough. But we know where we're headed. We know what the result of it will be, right? It is predictable in that way. We know if we continue working, we're going to have this thing at the end, right? But with this water energy, it's unpredictable. We don't know if this water is coming or going. We don't know how many cups are going to be drained. We don't know where that water is going. We don't know what is down here underneath the water. It's dark waters, right? So there is this reluctance to enter into our emotions, to get in touch with our feelings. I wonder if this mystery card's going to be the Queen of Cups. Because I feel a real rejection of the water energy right now. So let's see about the mystery card. Thank you, Frog. Thank you, Alien. This might be some more water energy. Maybe this is the fire that we're looking for. Maybe this is going to be the Queen of Cups. Well, it's the Queen of Swords. We got close. So the Queen of Swords is the water of all of this air energy. It's all of this air energy that is now getting in touch with that water. Has that water within, maybe not expressing it. Maybe you're trying to keep all of your love, all of this water energy, right? All of this joy and pleasure, all of this romance. You're trying to really save it for this work that you do. You're sublimating it, right? Maybe you don't want this unpredictable spontaneity, really, in your emotions, because it's going to lead to that Eight of Cups, where things are just going to be uncertain. You don't know where your heart really lies. This water energy is draining into this big kind of swampy looking pool. We want to keep it contained. We want to keep it sealed up and guarded by the air energy, right? And that makes sense to me because you're trying to keep everything here. You're trying to succeed at this work that you do. And in order to do that, you have to keep this water energy committed to this work that you do. This is your love right now, right? That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. And we don't want any of this water that's inside the Queen of Swords. We don't want any of that water to just start leaking out, right? Because that's going to be probably lights out for this work that you do, and who knows where that water energy is going to go. And it just seems like it's going to be a mess, right? So we're trying to keep it contained, committed to the work that you do. That's what I'm feeling. We're going to do an extended. If you want to stick around, click on the link right there. I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me read for you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.